Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I am here at George Acheampong. Say that for me.
Acheampong. We'll take
Acheampong.
it. Acheampong. We'll take it. Yeah.
Tell me about that last name. What is the derivative of that?
Yeah, so my dad's from Ghana, West Africa. My mom's from Farmville, North Carolina. I still don't understand how they met, but yeah, that's the origin of my last name.
Okay. Well, we are here today because not only are we here for George, but it's also his birthday.
Yes, yes.
So now George and I met when he came to the Cocktailery and he took a cocktail class.
My birthday last year.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So his wife, Majesty, really puts a lot of thought and intentionality into your birthday celebration.
She tries to keep up with my thoughtfulness. But,
Oh, hey. I ain't in it, okay? All I know, that is how I was brought to him. And so what we're gonna do today was we're actually going to recreate that whole experience. We're gonna do it a little bit in a more intimate way.
Yep.
And we are going to actually flip the script. It's gonna be a little bit of a plot twist.
Yes.
Okay. So when he initially came to the Cocktailery, you know, we do cocktails. But today we are going to do mocktails. And we're going to do some non-alcoholic, I would say, alternatives to the cocktails we made before.
Okay.
Okay.
Exciting.
So I hear that you love tequila.
Yes.
You love, what's your other favorite spirit?
Typically, like I do like a Manhattan or something like that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
whiskey.
Whiskey. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do a tequila cocktail, we're gonna do a whiskey cocktail. But they're gonna be cocktail alternatives. So there's a new category of non-alcoholic spirits.
Okay. Educate me.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
It's I really don't want to say that it is a movement, but a lot more people are choosing not to indulge in alcoholic spirits. Okay. And there's a lot of different reasons for that, right? It could be that it's for health reasons. It could be that they find themselves dependent on it a little bit too much in social situations. And for me, you know, the name of my company is called the Cocktailery.
Right.
So I was very slow to embrace.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I don't want to call it a trend, but I was just very slow to embrace that. But it's really become part of our society. And I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, the pandemic, and we were all at home drinking a lot. And then we really needed our bodies to stay strong, to stay healthy, because, you know, we're fighting this virus that's out there. And I think that was a lot of catalyst.
For sure.
So one thing I always like to ask people is, why are you interested, or why are you interested in looking into or developing your mocktail skills?
Yeah, so I mean, I think like most people do, like, you know, beginning of the year, the dry January situation. I did it, and it was like super easy, and I was like, well, let's extend it to February, let's extend it to March, and now we're in April, and I kind of just realized that, like, I have nothing to get, like, I love tequila, I have nothing against alcohol, but I just realized it wasn't like a vital part of my social experience. Like, it wasn't essential, right?
Right. You were still lit.
Exactly.
Regardless.
Without the lit. I was lit without the lit, right?
Right.
So for me, it just almost became just like a personal challenge. Like, I never was like dependent upon it or had any challenge with it or blackout drunk or nothing like that. So for me, it just became like an easy challenge for myself. Well, how long can I go? And if I'm gonna do it, find ways to make it creative, find ways to make it enjoyable in the process. Versus feeling like, oh, if I go out, I just gotta get pink lemonade because that's my only option.
Right. And I find that these days you will find a lot more alternatives for spirit cocktails in bars and restaurants. Most bars and restaurants that are about the craft are always going to have a spiritless menu, okay, or a non-alcoholic selection of cocktails. So the first cocktail we're going to do, let's just get into it. We got all the things here. We're going to do something tequila based. Okay. Now I heard that you were a big fan of the margarita that you made in class at the Cocktailery.
I was. Yeah, it was very fresh, very refreshing, so I enjoyed it. Yeah.
And I heard you've been trying to recreate it, and how's that experience been for you?
You know, I mean, a couple hits, couple misses.
Right. Okay. So listen, we're gonna set it off. We're gonna set it off right now. So what I really want to do is, for this cocktail, because I know that you're you're taking alcohol out, not because it's triggering for you.
Correct.
So because sometimes when it's triggering for people, I sometimes don't want to use a spirit or a spiritless beverage that mimics alcohol too much.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want to trigger that part of the brain
Gotcha.
that it tastes too much like it.
Okay.
And then you're like, okay.
Let me have the real thing. Yeah. Now I got a whole cabinet over there that's full of all sorts of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where we pulled this from.
Gotcha.
This is where we pulled this from.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to taste the difference between the three spirits we have. We have a Casamigos Reposado, we have Ritual Reposado, and we have Free Spirit Reposado. So I want to taste all the difference, okay? Because when it comes to margarita, I think it's a really unique flavor. Cooked agave is really unique.
Right.
And I think what we really want to do is to taste all three of these, determine out of these two which one we want to use to make our margarita, okay?
I'm with it.
So let's start with the real thing, just because,
Because why not, right?
Because why not? Let's just have a little shot right now. Right. And one thing that I find when I'm using spiritless beverages is that it misses the burn that you're gonna get when you're drinking.
And that's what I was impressed about this one. It still had like kind of like a smoky kind of a like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's that's one of the things we want to try to replicate.
Okay.
So cheers. Let's do a little sip for this.
I just took the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I guess I still got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's
Smooth.
it's smooth. It's smooth.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's rinse this out.
Okay. So in the so what's the name of your business?
The Cocktailery.
Cocktailery, right? What would I be considered? There's like sous chef with cooking. So what am I right now? And I'm not a. Am I a
bar back?
Bar back. I knew there was a word for it. So I'm the bar back in the situation.
You're just rinsing stuff.
Okay. Cool. That's fair. I can live with that.
Rinsing and cutting.
I can live with that.
Okay.
So
So we're gonna try the Ritual.
Okay.
So this is really popular. This is something that we carry at the Cocktailery. We've always carried this. I like Ritual because it does have a little bit of burn to it.
Okay.
We're gonna take a little sip. Another one. Cheers.
Yeah, smooth.
Smooth. It's a completely different flavor profile.
Yeah, for sure.
But it does give you a little
Yeah, it gives
bit
you
of
like that little burn, little smokiness.
little smokiness. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's never gonna be the real thing.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Rinse. Okay. And now let's try what you've been drinking here at home, which is the Free Spirits. I haven't had this before, so
I think you like that one.
Okay, yeah. So you already know you like this one better. I figured we taste and we determine based on our tasting which one we like the best to use. But I already see where we're going with this.
Okay.
Salud. Oh yeah, I like that flavor. Yeah, it has a smokiness to it. That's really that has
I
a
was
smokiness
impressed.
to it. Yes, very impressive.
Because I thought it was gonna be underwhelming. I'm like, I was gonna go through the process, see if I could find something I like, but I really liked it.
Okay, so let's do this. So now, when it comes to mocktails, as you see, it's still not going to have that same depth of flavor as if we were using a true tequila.
Right.
So how are we going to get more interest into our cocktail, right? One thing I like to do is use fresh fruit, fresh citrus. That's really important.
Okay.
And then the balance between those things. So first things first, what we're going to do, because it is a margarita, what we want to do is, again, we're talking about these spirit alternatives, and we want to get that burn that you would have from an actual liquor. So we are going to go ahead and rim our glasses with this sugar, salt, and crushed red pepper mixture. Okay. So what I'm going to do is where I want this to stick, because I just want this to be on the side of the glass, because I want it to be, pretty. So wherever I want that to stick, I'm just going to brush it with some agave.
That's fancy. I've never seen someone do it on the side of the glass like that.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to roll that in our mixture.
Okay.
Look how cute is that?
All right.
All right.
So just a little, like
Just
that?
roll it in there and get it on there.
Okay. On the top.
Yep.
Boom. You good?
Boom.
All right.
Yes,
awesome.
already looking good. So let's just set this aside someplace. Okay. So Let's start with our citrus.
Okay.
It's not a margarita unless it's citrus. So margaritas are a sour category of cocktails.
Okay.
Part of that is the balance between your sour, your sweetening agent, and then your base spirit. Okay. So that's really important to get all that in line. So we're gonna take a lime.
Okay.
Normally a sour cocktail is going to be 1 part citrus, 1 part of your sweetening agent, and 1 part of your alcohol or your base spirit.
Okay.
Or non-alcoholic.
In this case, right? Okay.
Right. And so, but what I find is, depending on the ingredients that I'm using, I'm always going to adjust that. Not too much, you know. I'm usually going to go 2 parts to 1 part to 1 part. Okay. But for this one, we're going to do 2 parts of our spirit, which will be using free spirits.
Okay.
We're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of our citrus, and then we're going to add in a nice flavor of watermelon. Yes, because you know, it is springtime.
For sure.
We want bright, we want refreshing.
I'm with it.
And we're going to use fresh fruit because it's going to be in abundance during this time. So let's go ahead. Let's grab a citrus press. A lot of things I don't have to teach George how to do because he's already been to class and you should know.
I know a little something.
Something. So these are 2 ounces, 1 ounce. Oh, this is the same ones we used in class.
Okay.
So we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce. Sorry, this side. So 1 ounce, 1 ounce, and 2 ounces, and 2 ounces. So we're going to use 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and squeeze this in here. These are some really, okay, I used Instacart to go get the limes today, and, you know, and
Would this be 3/4 of an ounce?
a little bit more, bit more. It's almost to the top.
Got it.
Now, if I had gone to the grocery store, I would have chosen some softer limes. Okay, perfect.
All right.
Okay, so that's gonna go into our shaker. We're using our mixing glass. So let's go ahead and put our lime in here. And we are going to use our watermelon. A lot of times I feel like when people make fruit forward margaritas, they use too much fruit. If you're using fresh fruit, you don't need that much, okay? We just want the essence of it. We want it to be like an agua fresca, okay? So we're gonna use just 2 nice.
Okay. It's a fancy spoon.
Oh yes, it's Cocktailery on the end. Did you see that?
Oh
yeah.
Brandy.
Brandy,
I love it.
Always.
I love it.
Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna muddle this into our cocktail. So you have a muddler as well. This one does not say the Cocktailery on it yet, but one day we'll say the Cocktailery. Okay, it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and let's just press and twist. We're not pounding, we're just pressing and twisting. We're just trying to squeeze the juice. It doesn't take that much effort. Okay, and we're good.
Am I good over here too? Am I good?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
Now, again, because we're dealing with something that doesn't have the kind of distilled flavor that an actual spirit we're gonna have, we still wanna add more into it. Okay. So what we're gonna do is for our syrup, instead of just using agave, we're gonna use a tea syrup that I made using hibiscus. Okay. It has rubios, it has rose. So it's still gonna give another layer of flavor, okay? Okay. I've really gotten into using teas a lot more in my cocktails, whether I make a really strong tea and then make a simple syrup out of it. Okay. But it already has so much, you know, life and fun things going on with it.
So it adds a lot to from your experience, it adds a lot to the cocktail.
It adds a lot to the cocktail. So we're gonna go ahead and add 3/4 of an ounce of our tea syrup. You can always use, you know, agave, but just for this, again, because we want to give it as much flavor as possible, we're going to go ahead and add that in. And we are going to always use, I like to use bitters in my mocktails. Now, bitters do contain alcohol. Okay. And that's okay.
That's a question I was wondering, because I was making like they make a, what is it? I guess a whiskey as well. And I was trying to mimic an old fashioned. And I was like, well, can I use bitters? I couldn't find the legitimate.
Well, think about bitters like you would think about like I would say vanilla extract.
Okay.
It has that amount of alcohol.
I got
the
you.
ABV will be the same as like
I got you.
yeah, a vanilla extract, which is
So-
why
so
you can buy
very
bitters
negligible.
in the grocery store.
Okay.
Here, it's a high proof alcohol that's in it, but it's such a negligible amount, right?
Got it.
So I always try to give a disclaimer. Say there's a woman who's pregnant and she wants to, she wants to do mocktails. Should she use bitters or should she not use bitters?
Gotcha. Tomato.
Tomato. I mean, are you eating brownies? Are you using vanilla extract or
Yeah.
not? You know what I mean? So I'll leave that up to you. So we're using a sumac kiwi,
Okay.
and we're just gonna do just
One full.
one full dash.
Okay.
Okay, nice. And then the last thing we need to add is our spirit. Oh, no, we're gonna do one more thing.
Bennett Scorpion bitter. So there's like a real scorpion in there. Oh wow. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. So this is a spicy bitter. So when we talked about the bite that you're gonna get out of a actual alcohol, how can we replicate that, right? So what I wanna do is just add just a little bit of a spicy bitter.
Okay. It's like a real legit
It's a real legit
situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That do enough? Is that
How
enough?
much? Yeah.
It was
let's
like
see.
about this much.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
cool.
Yeah, because we also have that spicy salt and sugar mixture.
Man ain't alive, is he? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna need our ice, and then we're gonna get to shaking, and then we're gonna serve our cocktail. So, okay, so the final thing we're gonna add into the cocktail is, of course, our base, which is gonna be the free spirits. This is what we decided on was gonna have the best flavor for us. So I'm just gonna do 2 ounces of our free spirits all the way to the top.
Okay. So you gotta have steady hands. I got my own. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, it didn't feel so steady, but you know. It's always that. Nice. Very good. Okay.
I'm looking more less and less like a bar back, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
He's actually making the drinks. He's already graduated. So we're gonna go ahead and add ice into our mixing glass.
Okay.
So go ahead and fill your mixing glass about 3/4 of the way up with ice.
Okay. Got a little chunk there. Oops.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, just add a little bit more. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
And then do me as well.
All right.
We want to make sure we have enough ice in there to cover the liquid. So that's good.
Good.
All right, yep.
Cool.
And we're gonna get to shaking. So we're gonna take our shakers. We're gonna put it on, give it a little pound, turn it over, and let's shake this up.
All right.
There we go. I know you love this part. Okay, oh, yours is good.
Good.
I need a little bit more.
Okay.
As soon as this is frosted over, we're good to go. Flip it over. Now you see where you have this line of demarcation here, where there's frost and no frost?
Yep.
That is where we want to give this a little pound. Yep. Open that up. Do it again. Yes.
There we go. I ain't want to break the glass, you know, give my incredible Hulk strength, you know what I'm saying?
We're going to put our strainer on. I'm going to grab our 2 cocktail glasses. Before we start, I'm going to go put some ice in here.
Okay.
And just give me 1 second here. Where is our
Tongs.
tongue?
There you go.
Yep. Oops, 1 for you. 1 for me. Now, we're gonna do a double strain. So we muddled that watermelon in here.
Yep.
And I don't want all those chunks floating around. So we're gonna go ahead, grab this. We're gonna grab a fine mesh strainer, hold it over our cocktail glass.
Okay.
And this is going to capture all of the chunks that we might have had left over from the watermelon.
Gotcha.
Nice. So that is called a double strain.
Learn something new every day.
I know, that looks pretty amazing. Okay, so this is our watermelon
Spirit free cocktail.
Margarita.
Margarita.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I think that's pretty good.
I know.
That's pretty good.
I told you I was going to have something for you.
Okay.
I told you I was going to have something new for you.
This it's almost like I'm not missing the real thing.
Right.
This is good.
It's good. And we had to put a few extra ingredients in it.
Yeah, but we got it there.
We got it there. It's spicy. We have the margarita. I definitely taste like that alternative agave.
Yeah.
But it's giving me tequila.
That's why I gave me this at the bar. It didn't tell me that it didn't have liquor. I wouldn't believe them.
Right.
I'd be like, you mean, why does it taste so smooth? Because it ain't got no liquor.
I will say this, when it comes to making spirit-free cocktails, you can't just make a classic old-fashioned and think you can just do it that way. You're going to have to be a little bit more intentional in trying to add in those flavors.
I think that's like the same, that holds true with like vegan cooking, right? It's like you can't just expect like, okay, well you remove the meat and I can just make, you gotta be very intentional with the layers of flavor in order to get it there. But this is good.
This is good.
So if you're wondering, can you have a good cocktail that doesn't have alcohol in it? Now you know.
Yeah, I mean, we drink it a little fast.
Yeah.
So make sure you don't just make one, like make 5 at one time because we're gonna set these down.
We already almost done with this one.
And then I love this sugar and salt mixture. So with the rimming salt, what we did was we did 1 part sugar to 1 part salt.
Okay.
And then I just added the crushed pepper in there, and I really like.
And what's
that
the overall, just like the science behind having like a sugar or salted rim when it comes to drink? I never really understood that.
Well, salt is kind of it. I would say it acts like citrus, right?
Okay.
So when you have food that's undersalted, it falls bland. Right? And you add a little bit of salt, and you're like, oh, everything tastes better. It wakes it up. And that's the same thing with salt.
Makes sense.
On the rim.
Okay.
Right? So it separates the flavors.
Gotcha.
Each thing that's in there, it enhances everything, but it is also the balance. And I like the balance of having sugar and salt.
Got it.
Sometimes salt, it's just too much. Right?
Same. If it's just salt, I typically opt out of it, but the sugar and salt is a nice touch. Well, that was good. Y'all couldn't tell, right? That was good, obviously.
All right. Well, let's get started on the second one.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, are you ready for your second mocktail?
Ready for my second one. The first one was a banger, so I got big shoes to fill.
It really does. I'm a little nervous. Okay, so you mentioned that your other favorite spirit was whiskey or bourbon.
Yep.
Okay.
Like an old fashioned or something like that. Yeah.
Right. I find an old fashioned is really, really hard to replicate.
I can see that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not gonna touch that. Okay. We're not gonna try to touch the stirred old fashioned using a spirit alternative. But what we will do is we will do a refreshing spring, summertime whiskey alternative based cocktail.
I'm with it.
Okay, so again, what we're gonna do is taste some of the ingredients we're gonna use, okay? So, or what we're gonna choose to use. Let's grab our little shot glasses. First things first, let's taste the real thing.
Always start off with the real thing.
Always start off with the real thing. I mean, if you can.
It's a black-owned brand, so you gotta love that.
Yeah. Uncle Nearest is premium, okay? They have won, I can't even count how many awards they have won for taste, for quality. It's one of the #1 selling and growing spirits in the country.
Okay.
They're breaking records.
Wow.
So, yeah, I really love that too. And it has a really wonderful story. And the story is about American history, okay, and who we are as a country and who we are as a people. So I really, really appreciate that brand. So let's start off with the real thing.
All right.
Cheers. Ooh.
We'll kick to it.
Oh.
Clear your sinuses up.
Yeah.
Allergies who?
Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. A little rinse.
Got you.
I already know we're gonna need this in. Okay. Now we're gonna try the 2 different spirit brands or spiritless brands that we used before, but in a whiskey expression. So let's start first with Ritual. Okay. I feel that Ritual has a nice bite to it.
Okay.
But I said that also before I tasted that Free Spirits that had a really nice bite.
Yeah,
had a better bite.
Yeah.
So we shall see if it holds true when it comes to the whiskey. see that viscosity is pretty thick too, right? Yeah. Which I like. You know, I really like that it does have some girth to it for the most part.
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
It has a nice flavor profile.
Yeah, I like that. That one might win out this time. We'll see.
Okay. And then we shall do that all the way.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So this is what you've been using. So what have you been making with this?
What did I tried to remake an old fashioned.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, again, like I said.
And that was it. And you were like,
cool.
I'm not touching this again.
Yeah, I hadn't tried it again. I mean, it was fine. It just wasn't, like, I feel like I needed to go back to the drawing board and figure it out.
Yeah.
But to your point, maybe explore another cocktail and not try to replicate the old fashioned.
Right.
All right, see what you got, Free Spirits.
That's interesting. It kind of has a little coffee back flavor. Maybe I might use this as a base for a espresso martini.
Now you're thinking.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that. But I think for this cocktail, we will use the Ritual.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Okay. So for this one, basically what we're gonna do is a berry smash.
Okay. I love berries. Did my wife tell you that?
No.
Okay, yeah, I love berries.
Okay, great. So we're gonna use two different kind of berries. We're gonna use a
Okay.
blackberry and we're gonna use a raspberry.
Okay.
Okay. Again, we want to replicate the bite that you're gonna get from an actual alcohol. Right. So how we're gonna do this, we have a couple ways we're gonna do this.
Okay.
We're gonna use a ginger simple syrup.
Ginger will always give you a little bite.
Yes,
for sure.
it's definitely gonna give you a pop, a little peppery, peppery, right?
Okay. These like ingredients I never heard of. The scorpion situation, this. Okay, so
yes.
I would not even know these ingredients existed.
Now, this, you can also find a spicy ginger syrup will also work as well, because we don't have a spicy ginger syrup and just a ginger syrup. That's all it's gonna have its own pop to it.
Okay.
I'm still gonna acquiesce to our
the scorpion bitters.
Yeah, these are
Y'all, it's
really
a real
good.
live scorpion in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if it's live, but it's a real one nonetheless.
But it is definitely a scorpion or a cricket. I don't know. It's definitely a scorpion. You can even see.
It's a good selling point nonetheless.
No, yeah. Oh,
yeah. It's something.
It looks like the alien from the Alien movies.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna use some Angostura bitters. Again, we're talking about creating some more depth of flavor.
Right.
One of the easiest ways is by using bitters.
Understood.
Again,
surprised like how little you can put and it still gives you like that flavor.
That flavor. So that's just gonna, without changing the composition of your cocktail by adding more of a simple syrup or another ingredient, you can actually add in another layer of flavor, more depth by using bitter.
Gotcha.
Okay, using bitters.
Awesome.
And also, we have a...
She wouldn't tell me what it was at first, and I'm learning in real time with y'all.
This is a black tea. This is a Chinese black tea, and it is really, really smoky. Okay, so we're gonna be using this Lapsang Sochu.
Okay.
So this is a black tea that has a really, really smoky flavor to it. Smell it?
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, so that's gonna give us more of that smokiness that you would get if you had a bourbon or a whiskey that has been aged in a barrel.
Got it.
Okay, so we want to incorporate this into our cocktail as well. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, there's two ways I could use this. This is just a strongly brewed tea, but I might have maybe wanted to make a simple syrup out of this.
Okay. Is that what you did with the last cocktail? Like you had like a tea blended with?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So
got it.
Same concept.
Okay.
And I just use one part of the tea that I make and one part of sugar.
Gotcha.
Just like you would do a normal simple syrup, but I'm just using a tea-based water.
Got it.
Strong tea-based water, so to speak.
Makes sense.
But for this one, we are still using this ginger syrup. So I didn't want to use two different syrups, so we're just gonna add this in here just for a hint of smokiness. Okay. Let's do this. Let's grab our mixing glasses.
Okay.
This is another cocktail we're gonna muddle. Summertime, I find myself, spring, summertime, when things are growing, they're in abundance, muddling a lot.
Okay.
Muddling a lot because I want to get that fresh fruit flavor.
And do you find that when you muddle it, it infuses the cocktail better versus just like adding the fruit to the drink?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Another thing I found, like say I'm making a simple syrup and we're gonna use about 5 blackberries.
Okay.
If I'm just making a simple syrup and I'm using fresh fruit, I found I don't really like to cook the fruit too much. Like with the strawberry, I like to just add fresh strawberries, water, and sugar into a blender and blend it, and then put it through like a nut bag, or finally like strain it.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get more bright flavors. I find like when you cook like strawberries, raspberries, it takes away the bright from the brightness.
I got you.
So I'm into like cold macerating when it comes to making simple syrups with fresh fruits.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use 3 to 4. Oops. That's for my ancestors. Raspberries.
I was watching. Who was I watching the other day? The comedian Mark something, and he was making like coffee in Japan, and he like poured out some coffee on the guy. He's like, "This." He said, "That's my ancestors of the dead homies." Something he said.
Right.
This dude is hilarious.
Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add in our ginger syrup. We're gonna use a full ounce of our ginger syrup for this one. Because while we're using berries, they're not that sweet. They're pretty tart. Like there's that line between tart and sweet. So we want to make sure we have enough sweetness in here.
Okay.
Okay. And we are going to go ahead and we are going to add in our lemon. Always want to add fresh citrus. Fresh citrus in your cocktail is like salt to your food. It is really going to wake everything up. It's going to balance everything out. And we're just gonna do half an ounce.
Half an ounce. Okay.
Half an ounce. We do not want it to be too bright. We really want this to have a little bit more depth of flavor. So just half an ounce. No more than half an ounce. Okay.
All right.
Perfect. Yours is better than mine. I don't even want all this stuff. I added too much. Okay. And now we're gonna add in our Angostura bitters.
Okay.
So we're gonna need that
Dashes?
depth.
Okay.
Yeah, just a couple dashes. I don't know. So the ancestors say that's enough. Good.
Okay.
Alrighty. We're gonna add in our bite. This is
scorpion.
our thing, yeah. So if you can't find these scorpion bitters, any kind of spicy bitter will do. There's so many on the market. Just look for spicy bitter. But be careful of what the flavor profile of that spicy bitter could be. Sometimes it might be Fireball. Sometimes it might be like a chili based. So this one I feel is very neutral. It's just giving us heat. Okay, sometimes you just want heat without having the flavor of the heat. And that's what I really love about this bitter right here.
Okay.
And finally, we are going to use our ritual. Oh no, we didn't muddle. Actually,
we got to add this in too or no?
Oh yeah, we do. Okay. Actually, we're going to muddle first before we do anything. So let's go ahead and muddle. I don't want to put, so that's the thing. I'm glad I remembered. I don't want to have too much liquid in here and then I try to muddle and then it's just going to splash all over your
your
birthday outfit.
I'm like, yo, I am here kind of like risking it all with the all item, right?
Right. So, and it doesn't really take that much. Just a little press and a twist, press and a twist.
And the berries are really easy to smash, though.
Yeah, and they're very easy to smash. Okay.
Something about muddling just makes you feel like you're really doing something. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Yeah, I muddled fresh berries in my cocktail. What do you do? What'd you do today?
All right, and we're gonna add in our tea.
Tea.
No, I'm not gonna say it again. That's the whole thing. And we're just gonna add in, I would say 3/4 of an ounce. For you. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, Lord. Ancestors.
Got a little heavy-handed.
The ancestors were thirsty.
Yeah. I look out for them, you know? Players mess up too, you know what I'm saying? Players mess up too.
And we're gonna use our ritual and we're gonna do 2 ounces of our ritual.
All right, let's try not to spill some this time. There we go.
Nice. Perfect. All right. So go ahead, ice this up.
Okay. Oh yeah, did we add this yet or no? I can't remember.
We did.
We did. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, so one thing is, whenever you're making a cocktail, whatever your hero ingredient is, which is our ritual that we're using here, or say we were gonna make an alcohol version of this, would be our Uncle Nearest. I'm gonna add that in last because if I forget what I'm doing, I'm talking too much with like friends and family over here, like, laughing and whatever, and I need to just throw this all out and start again. I'm not gonna waste my most expensive ingredient that I'm adding into the cocktail.
That makes sense.
So I always want to get in the habit of adding that in last.
If I'm talking too much and I mess up, they just have to get the best of a cocktail.
We're never gonna waste it. I mean, we're not gonna not drink it, but
I don't know. Listen, I don't know about you.
Right.
But with these grocery prices,
please.
All right,
we're drinking it. Yep.
Cool. Boom.
All right. And we're ready to shake. Make sure you got it good. Yeah.
Is it in there? Okay, we get it. Has it ever happened to you where you spilled all on you?
Yeah, for sure. But that's why we really want to shake over our shoulder.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna, if we do mess up, we're not gonna get on us. Yeah. So we do want to shake over our shoulder. Okay, again, as soon as we're frosted over, that tells us we're as cold as we're gonna get. Okay. So I'm gonna bring our glasses over here.
Okay. I'm shaking so hard, I shook my watch off.
Okay, let's move these out the way so y'all can see our beautiful cocktail we are about to experience.
These things get cold quick too.
They do. Yeah, I'm all about style and presentation and functionality.
I love it.
So I love this because this line of demarcation tells you exactly where you need to hit this to crack that seal. Nice. Again, because we muddled those berries, we're going to do a double strain.
Double strain, not know what that is. Listen,
right.
I'm using that in the sentence next week. I was making a cocktail.
I want to double strain this conversation.
I'm a double
okay.
Yeah, because it's the filter, it's not enough.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay. So, because I know you are a businessman, making deals happen.
And I do what I can with what I got.
I've heard about you, and I love what you're doing. Okay, that's good.
Cool.
And a garnish. We're going to take our cocktail picks, and we're going to add in a few berries on the cocktail. See.
I put too much in there?
Yeah, sip that a little bit.
Okay.
Just reach down. Yeah, just do that. There you go. We're trying to preserve this this soup. So I'm gonna put in a couple of blackberries on mine. Maybe a raspberry, why not? Just because it's so pretty. And you can do what you want to do. Yeah.
Where's my, okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a little try. So I'm gonna go like one of these. One of these.
So creative.
We're gonna go back here. Listen, listen. Boom.
Boom. Love it.
All right.
All right, nice and easy. Cheers.
Smooth. I like that.
That's smooth. That's smooth.
I like that.
I mean, it's more berry than whiskey.
Yeah.
It's
but I feel like you get the layers of flavor. You get the tea.
Yeah.
I'm tasting the tea.
Yeah.
Tasting the berries.
Put this way, this is not something you're buying in a can at the grocery store.
For sure.
This definitely is giving you bright. It's giving you refreshing. Another thing when you're dealing with non-alcoholic spirits and you're dealing in that category, there's other beverages that may not mimic the taste of the spirit. That's not their purpose. Their purpose is to create a complex flavor profile.
Gotcha.
And a lot of times what they use are adaptogens, which are going to give you natural mood enhancers. They'll calm you down.
I've seen that.
And so that's through herbs and roots and botanicals. And I really, really appreciate those because you do get a natural high.
Yeah.
From a lot of those.
Essentially, people mostly I would say are drinking to relax or unwind or whatever. So they're giving you that effect in a healthier.
And we want something that tastes good. I don't want just cranberry and soda.
Exactly.
Or a super sweet, sugary soda.
Right.
Right.
And that was my whole thing with the mocktails is like, one, if I'm gonna go down this road of drinking more mocktails, right? I don't want to just like be drinking juice, right? Just that's not any healthier than not drinking alcohol, right? And I want something that tastes good. So making these mocktails really gives you like a lot of flavor in the drink.
Flavor. And another thing that's really great to use, so teas, you can use them in a number of different ways. You can use we use it today. You can make a syrup out of it. Are shrubs. So shrubs are also really nice too, because they're going to give you a really burst of flavor with a vinegar background.
Okay.
So you got to be careful when using those.
Yeah.
You still want to use a little bit of simple syrup, but shrubs are also really nice to use when you're doing mocktails. You just want to infuse and get just as much flavor as you can.
For sure.
This we could have even topped it with a little bit of ginger beer, which would have been nice.
They have nice little like bubbles and I think I have some. Let me check. You know what I'm saying? If you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. That's what I'm talking about. If you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. Come on now.
Yes, and it's Fever Tree.
Come on now. If you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready.
This is the only ginger beer I'm gonna use.
It's the only one.
And this is no ad, like for real. Nice.
Top it up a little bit too.
That's what we want. Okay, I'm gonna give this a little stir just to make sure it's incorporated. Okay, let's do this again.
Okay.
One more time.
One more time. Cheers with the ginger beer. Yeah.
Yeah, that set it off.
Yeah, I like that.
Cheers.
I love it. So, add a little ginger beer to your cocktail. Can't go wrong.
You can't get wrong. Give you that little bite, that little peppery that we were looking for. We were still trying to search. We could have either used more of the bitters. I never want to use too much of. I'm still like kind of playing with this, so we didn't want to use too much of it. But the ginger beer set it off.
Perfect.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers, and happy 37.
Thank you. Thank you for showing me how to make 2 amazing mocktails.
Listen,
hopefully I can duplicate.
You are definitely going to duplicate these cocktails because listen, going forward, you're going to feel better. You're going to continue looking great.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
I love it.
Won't he do it?
Cheers.